Hello everyone and welcome back to another Chainsaw Man Chapter review. Today we have Chainsaw Man Chapter 170 titled How to Eat Sushi. And this is by far the craziest chapter of Chainsaw Man in part 2. I don't care what you say about the previous few chapters because they have been insane as well. This is the most crazy chapter in part 2 so far. It's left me literally emotionally confused because on essentially one half of it, I'm like, holy shit, this is insane. Like, it's kind of like excitement. And number two, I am genuinely heartbroken for this guy because he is undergoing one of the toughest main character experiences I've ever read, ever. I'm currently reading Tokyo Ghoul, and the main character of that story definitely has it rough. But I'm not sure anybody has it as rough as Denji. This guy is just tragic. But before we get into the meat and bones of the chapter, I would just want to ask if you could leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It would mean so much to me. Thank you so much. And let's get right into it because I cannot wait any longer. The chapter starts where we left off in 169 with this guy from essentially the Chainsaw Man Church and public safety asking Denji to eat some sushi, and we're like, what the fucking hell is going on here? Like, I don't get it. But this is really interesting. Before we get to the major bombshell, the first kind of 12 or so pages of this chapter are actually really fascinating and interesting and might lead to the end of the story, so we will see. But yeah, the whole sushi thing's happening, right? This guy says disobey and you'll lose your chance to see Nayuta, and of course Denji then obeys and starts eating the sushi, and he's basically telling him how to eat sushi. But this is where we get into the really interesting stuff. Denji says, will you take me to Nayuta if I kill the public safety mooks hiding outside? And this guy, what the fuck's his name again? I can't remember, sorry. But this guy says, as tempting as that sounds, just cool your jets. It's not like they want to kill you either. All public safety really wants us, too for that matter, is to use a teensy-weensy bit of Chainsaw Man's power. So all I got to do is turn into Chainsaw Man. And this guy explains that there's a proper order to things and he is not yet Chainsaw Man, which of course we know. He's a hybrid. Your transformation into Chainsaw Man is still incomplete. We don't just want any Chainsaw Man, we want a Chainsaw Man with the power to erase devil names from existence itself. Meaning that, of course we know, we learnt at the end of part 1, that Pochita, the actual Chainsaw Devil, the fully transformed Chainsaw Devil, is known as essentially the King of Hell, because he had the ability to erase the existence of any devils in which he ate. So if he eats, for example, the Fallen Devil, then the idea of the Fallen Devil existing, the idea of falling, becomes not a fear anymore. The existence of that just becomes completely eradicated forever. This is what happened to the War Devil. This is why Yoru, War, is not as feared as it used to be, because Chainsaw Man ate a portion of Yoru. So that's that's the way that Chainsaw Man works. He is the most broken devil in the universe. That is why he is the King of Hell. Every devil fears Chainsaw Man, because if Chainsaw Man eats them, then they essentially become nothing. They essentially cease to exist. And so it makes sense that public safety want Chainsaw Man to eat all devils and eradicate all devils from existence, because then devils won't be feared, and that means that devils won't appear. And so, of course, public safety's job is to eradicate devils. So it makes perfect sense, is what I'm trying to say. But they're obviously saying that Denji is not needed. It's not Denji that they want, it's Pochita that they want, which is a recurring theme, including, of course, the biggest plot thread of any Chainsaw Man arc and part for anything, which was, of course, Makima. She didn't even acknowledge Denji one time. She might have said his name, but all Makima ever cared about was Pochita. And so this is becoming a theme where nobody actually cares about Denji. Everybody cares about Pochita and the Chainsaw Devil and Chainsaw Man, but nobody cares about Denji as a human being. This guy, who again, I've just forgotten his name, says hypothetically it could be that chainsaws originally had many uses, but after Chainsaw Man erased a lot of things, cutting down trees was the only one that remained. Because previously Denji had obviously said chainsaws don't have that power. Like, he's so confused as to why that would be the case. How would Chainsaw Man erase devil names from existence? But, of course, we know that he is, well, Pochita is a lot stronger than Denji is making him out to be. And so, yeah, this guy continues by saying, to fully become Chainsaw Man, Denji needs two things. Everybody's fear on the planet. Everybody needs to be afraid of Chainsaw Man. And number two is Denji's unhappiness. Because this guy believes that Denji being in the most unhappy state possible would then force Pochita to re-emerge once again, like of course it happened at the end of part 1. Now, this stuff is all incredibly interesting, and I believe this is exactly how the series is going to end. I believe Chainsaw Man is in Pochita, or maybe Denji, if he is able to transform into that full level of Chainsaw Man while still maintaining his consciousness, which I'm not sure is possible, but maybe it is, who knows. I believe he will eat the Death Devil, who will be the final villain of Chainsaw Man. And after that, the biggest fear in the world will be eradicated. And perhaps that would end it, or maybe he has to eat every devil, and maybe that takes a while to do, and we end up with a really long story. Who knows? But I do think the Death Devil will be the final villain of Chainsaw Man. And I do believe Denji or Pochita, whatever, will eat the Death Devil, and that will spell the end of the fear of death, and therefore pretty much the fear of devils as a whole. So yeah, that is all fascinating, but we talk about Denji's unhappiness. Everyone's fear and Denji's unhappiness. This is the two, essentially, the two requirements for Denji to become Pochita, to become the big, major, fully transformed Chainsaw Man. Of course, everyone's fear doesn't exist yet. Chainsaw Man Church has made that impossible, because he is a hero. Chainsaw Man is, he literally, he has a church. Chainsaw Man is a religion for some people. So of course those people are not scared of him. But this guy seems to think that Denji has now become an everyday object of fear, which I'm not quite sure how, but because the last time we knew, most people were still kind of revering Denji and saying that, like, you know, they love him and all that sort of thing. So I don't really get that, but this is the major part of the chapter. Chief, send it down the belt. They're talking about it's time to eat some deluxe fatty tuna. This guy says, coming right up. So, you know, you're expecting, you know, some lovely sushi, some great, beautiful food for Denji to consume. You know, it's going to change his life. And what comes down the aisle is, well, a bit of fear. Let's put it that way. Everybody's reacting like crazy. This guy's like, what the fucking hell is that? Yikes, that scared me. What the hell? And Asa is clearly extremely disgusted by it as well. Everybody's disgusted. What is it? Well, oh, fucking hell, man. Fujimoto, you are a crazy, crazy bastard. It is Nayuta's head. Sent down the belt for Denji to eat at a fucking sushi restaurant is Nayuta's head. Nayuta's head on a fucking plate. Jesus Christ, man. I don't even know what to say. So Denji is seeing Nayuta's chopped off head on a plate in a sushi restaurant. Pretty much confirming to us, unless something wild changes, that Nayuta might be dead. If Nayuta is dead, Denji is going to lose his shit and probably transform into Pochita. If Nayuta somehow has a way to survive, maybe due through like blood, because of course we know that like devils technically can be revived in any way if they're fed enough blood, but like I don't know about chopping their heads off. I think that might be a step too far. So I think Nayuta might be dead. And it would be pretty obvious if she is dead. But again, there is ways, like obviously Denji's just had his entire body dismembered. And they fixed him. So she's definitely not confirmed to be dead. But Denji's of course going to think she's dead. Her head's been chopped off. Like, fucking hell, man. But even just seeing that, like, this is Denji's little sister. Somebody that he's adopted and looked after and treated like family for his whole kind of, like, last couple of years. She's been family for Denji. And to see one of your family members essentially having their head literally on a plate. Their head chopped off and served to you. Whilst, by the way, this dickhead is smiling at Denji. Whilst everybody is obviously in shock. Apart from this prick, he is smiling. Bearing in mind, this is the guy that captured Nayuta, or at least pressured her before we didn't see her again. So, basically, it's pretty much confirmed that Nayuta is either dead, or at least that Denji currently, in this moment, thinks that Nayuta is dead. And what's so interesting, number one, is that we get a new chapter next week, so we get to see this really soon, what the reaction is. But number two, well, what will the reaction be? Will Denji break down? Will Denji transform through rage? What the fucking hell is going to happen in Chainsaw Man Chapter 171? I want to know your predictions, and I need a few days to reread this chapter 43 billion times to come up with my own ideas and predictions. And you know what? I might post a predictions video in the few days to come. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm going to leave a couple of Chainsaw Man videos on the screen now if you would like to continue watching. That would mean a lot. I'm going to also ask if you enjoyed the video, you could leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel and hit that noti bell. It would genuinely also mean so much to me. Sorry if this video was a bit scatterbrained. It is legitimately just, this chapter came out 10 minutes ago. This is my pure raw reaction to what is happening here. And it is just coming from a place of absolute shock. I still can't believe it. And it's going to take me a couple of days to get over this. But regardless, thank you so much for watching. And goodbye.